You got to make sure that your microphone is the right one here. When it says like underneath where it says like turn
Nope.
mic off.
I'm just
Oh,
dumb. I have my
there it
mic
is.
muted. Can you hear me?
Yep, there it is. The mic is muted. If that red light is on, is muted. God damn. All right,
Yeah.
mute
I was
reality.
being dumb. Come on. Like, sometimes I'm being dumb.
Ironic that your name is Mute Reality and
Is it?
you were
Is it
muted.
ironic?
And you were muted. All right, what's up, dude? Talk to me.
What's up?
You fucking are Republican, I think.
I'm not. I just think that you argue in bad faith most of the time. Like, I don't think that you believe what you say.
Wait, you don't think I believe what I say? Like, for
Correct.
example,
Yeah, I think that you say it because it gives you clout.
like, clout is in when I say what? Like, when I say that the election wasn't stolen? That's like, I'm saying that for clout?
That's not what I mean. But, I mean, the
But
election
that's
was
what you said
obviously...
just now, isn't it?
The election of 2020 was obviously deeply influenced by the deep state. Like, there's no way around that.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Multiple influential people inside of our government made sure that people didn't know about stories, you know, about Hunter Biden to make sure that they would vote a certain way.
You think that Hunter Biden stories are that influential? Like that you really think that?
Yes, I do. I think that a lot of people, if they knew that Hunter Biden was corrupt as fuck, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. Yes.
So this is of course impossible to prove, but I guess I'll try my very best.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can't. How could you ever prove that? Like, you can. We don't live in that.
I mean, people literally have said that. They've done polls on this.
What do you mean they've done polls?
People have been asked this question and answered in the affirmative that they would not have voted for Joe Biden if they knew that their family was so corrupt. Like, come on, man.
Okay. Well, I would love to see some of these polls, but beyond that, the thing is, Hunter Biden is not Joe Biden. I think you know that.
True. Yes, that is true.
And
correct.
Hunter Biden hasn't, at least up until now, still to this day, actually conclusively been connected to Joe Biden for his misdealings.
Yeah, you're right, man. He didn't leave a fucking pound of cocaine in the congressional library. You got it, dog. Like, come on.
He left. Wait, Hunter Biden left a pound of. First of all, you're making him sound cooler, because I am.
You think that's cool?
Yes,
like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, I mean, but I guess that's the fundamental difference. Like, you think that it's cool
that'd be
someone
fucking
to
sick.
do drugs in our governmental buildings.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the governmental buildings.
I mean,
someone was literally having gay sex in a Senate hearing, in a Senate hall the other day, and the Republicans were losing their minds over it. And I thought that was fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm already.
You liked. You liked that.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. 100%. A little quickie.
Okay. I mean, sure. So
wait, why do you care?
Because I want our government to be a respected institution. Like, if people are fucking on government grounds, giving no respect at all to the institution, like, that's a problem to me.
Okay, let me ask you something else. So you care about the government and our institutions, and
I don't know if I say I care about the government, but if we're going to have a government,
wait, hold on. Let me finish my question.
The institution.
Let me finish my question. Okay, I'm trying to dialogue with you.
Yeah, my bad.
So you think like desecrating the halls of government is fucked up, right?
I think that it's I mean, it shows what you think about government. Yes.
So, and you also simultaneously think the election was stolen. Do you think it was appropriate?
I do not.
Do you think January 6th was appropriate?
I don't believe the election was stolen.
Okay, do you think January 6th is appropriate?
No.
Like the actions taken on January 6th?
Do I think that breaking into the Capitol is appropriate? No.
Oh, okay. Fair. That's cool.
Like, I'm not a hardcore Republican.
You're not a hardcore Republican.
I do appreciate you, like, talking to me, because, I mean, you're way bigger than me, man. Like, I have no following at all. So, Like,
I mean,
thanks for taking me out.
It don't matter. I do this every day. I talk to people with no following every day.
Hell
it doesn't
brother.
matter, as long as they're
I
entertaining
appreciate that a lot,
or
actually.
unique.
Like,
okay,
it
so
makes me
somebody.
makes me respect you a little bit more, because like I kind of was like hating on you, but now I'm seeing that actually you're a pretty cool guy.
No. I mean, I still think that it's okay to do gay sex in the Senate hearing. In a Senate
I really don't, man. Like, come on, man. Like,
would you be
okay with straight sex in the Senate building? Like, come on.
No,
dude.
I'm not okay with straight sex at all. I think it should be
only
banned.
gay sex.
Only gay sex is allowed.
Like, what, dude?
Yeah, no straight sex allowed.
You understand how hypocritical that is, right? Come on.
Bro, I'm fucking with you. What do you mean? I don't give a shit if I don't give a shit if there's straight sex happening either.
For sure.
Oh, that's
you just
funny.
don't care. I mean, then and that's
yeah. No, I don't.
You can have your position, like, you know.
I don't. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, you're allowed to believe what you want to believe. Like, I'm not gonna take that away from you, but I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I think the civility aesthetics or whatever. Let me put it this way, okay? Sure. If they were doing Roman style orgies in there, but we have fucking healthcare for all, I'd be like all about it. I would be throwing it back, okay? I'd be throwing it back for fucking Lindsey Graham or whoever. If they were, if that was the only way that they were like, you know what? Lindsey Graham came up to me, he's like, listen, Hasan, we are going to do Roman style gay sex orgies. There's a bull involved. But that means that we have Medicare for all. I'd be like, sure, all right, fuck it. One time, who cares? You know, I'll throw it back for one. I'll throw it back for Medicare for all one time.
Is that how much you care about, like, having, you know, medical coverage for everybody?
Yeah. You don't? You wouldn't suck a dick?
I absolutely do. I absolutely do not. You know why? Because when I paid for health insurance, my payment was $150 a month for absolute full coverage. After Obamacare, it's $500 a month for shitty coverage.
Okay.
So no, I would rather some
Medicare
people
for all doesn't mean Medicare for all doesn't mean Obamacare.
Yeah, but I'd rather some people not be covered and people actually be able to afford healthcare than everybody pay a shitload of taxes for shitty healthcare.
How about everyone get covered regardless?
No.
No, you just don't want some people to be covered.
Yes, I think that if you're going to be so fucking lazy that you're not even willing to work a job, you shouldn't have healthcare coverage. Correct.
But what if you need healthcare coverage and you can't work a job because you are severely disabled?
I mean, I think that there definitely should be exceptions for people that have, you know, serious conditions like disabilities where they can't work.
What if they got
that's not the majority of people.
What if they got
the majority of people are just not working and not fucking paying their fair share, dog. Like, come on.
What do you mean by that? Majority of people are not working and not paying their fair share. What do you elaborate?
Yes. Okay. I think that the lack of people paying their fair share into the system is the vast majority of the time people being lazy as fuck. It's not just people that are disabled. I very much think that we should take care of people that are hurting and that cannot support themselves. But that's not the majority of people that aren't paying taxes and doing anything. It isn't.
I'm a little confused by what you mean by this. So here, let me talk about healthcare, right? Do you understand how insurance pools work?
I mean, I think I understand roughly how insurance pools work. Yes.
Would you want to describe it? So I get a better understanding of how you think insurance pools work?
I mean, not really. As far as my understanding goes,
you understand it, but you don't want to describe it.
Well, I think that, you know, everyone pays into a pool because the risk to one singular person isn't, you know, massive. However, if everyone pays, say, $300 a month into a pool, you know, somebody's
well, it's not $300 a month.
But somebody's going to get hurt in that, you know, in that group. Somebody's going to have a health condition or get hurt, and so they pay out that person. it mitigates risk.
It
right?
it leverages those who are healthy paying in that don't take as much out.
Correct.
Against people who are also paying into the pool that desperately need it, right?
Yes.
So right now, this is how we have insurance pools across the board. I think universalizing that would be beneficial for the country, be cost effective, and on top of that, the government managing this insurance pool in the form of taxes for socialized medicine would have a significantly better and genuinely well-established interest in keeping medical costs as low as physically possible. Because
the
insurance industry, you say you're I suspect you're a bit of a libertarian.
I am definitely more anti-government than you, for sure.
I love government. I love big government. It's my favorite.
That's kind of why I fucking started arguing with you.
Yeah. So I think that regulations are good. I think that a government that is supposed to do.
Do you think that tariffs are good?
Do I think that tariffs are good?
Yeah. Do you think that tariffs on China are good?
It depends. No, I mean I don't really. No, I don't think that. I don't think that petty tariffs are specifically to win over political points are good. It depends though.
So, but you support China.
Do I support China? I mean, I don't support any single country. I don't support China any more than I support any other country.
Would you support America if we moved more toward a socialist style of thinking?
Yes.
Okay. And that's my problem with you. I think that you're wrong.
Why do you think I'm wrong?
Because I think that the government is a failed institution. Like I don't think that you're correct.
So you don't want any government.
The government is I wouldn't say I want no government. However, the amount of government we have right now, I'm very much against it.
The amount of government we have right now,
undeniably.
Okay. What do we?
The amount of government we have right now is garbage.
Too much government. How do we? Like, what are the? I guess what are some of the examples of too much government, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, so I guess my opinion is that the federal government is too large. I would like to see more local government. So, like, it's going to sound really dumb. I'm sure you've had this argument before, but like the pyramid structure of our government, I would like to see it inverted, right? I would like to see local government be the most powerful, state government be less powerful, and federal government be less powerful than that. I would like to see people have more effect on their government as they see it in front of them. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
You want to give more power to local governments?
Yeah, I'm really tired of
the
still
federal
more
government
deciding.
You know that, right? I mean, that's still
no,
more
it's
government.
not. I would argue it's not more government. It's just different government. It's government that you can directly affect, right? Instead of like, I don't know about you, man, but I personally like. I don't feel like I have much power over the federal government. Like, I can cast my vote.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, but
so it's more about being able to control. So it's more about. So if you were to be able to exercise your influence over the federal government in the way that like corporations do on a regular basis, then you would be fine with the federal government, is what you're saying.
I'd be okay with government if it is easily influenceable by the people that, are under it.
Okay, I mean, I agree with that. I don't have an issue with that. That's what I want. So how do you think you can build more?
So how about we just
how do you think you can build more power? Like, how can you make the government more democratic, let's say?
I mean, I don't know how one person could possibly do anything about the
not one person, obviously united, right? Like you'd have to engage in
what do you think? Like,
dare I say,
any
collective action
that we could do what I'm saying, which is invert the power structure and,
and
make it more local?
You work a job, right? You have a job?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at your job, do you have a union?
No.
Do you like unions? You're a contractor.
Do I like unions? That's a big question.
Because like
sometimes
what you just described.
Like,
okay, good. You're open-minded to that. Because what you just described, as far as like smaller formations of governance, self-governance is at the heart of unions, right? Because currently in the work structure that you exist under as a contractor, sure, you feel as though you make your own hours and whatever, but the reality is you also lose out on a lot of benefits that you normally would get, or your bosses would normally have to pay you, especially if you were a full-time employee at that workplace. That's the reason why you're a contractor. So a better way, even as a contractor, to ensure that you get better protections, like let's say if you were injured on the job, for example, if you were to get some semblance of coverage and some semblance of protection from your employers, you would need to be able to fight for that. Your employers, on the other hand, of course, don't want to do that for you, right? They want to make sure that they're cutting costs as best as they can.
I mean, you're making a pretty good argument, but like, why can't employers just not be cunts? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on there?
It's because they're self-interested, right? Like, everyone is self-interested. Would you say you're self-interested in the same way that your employers are?
I actually disagree with that. I think that there's a good majority of people that are self-interested, but I think that a good amount of people are actually interested in the whole, like the whole. This is gonna sound dumb as fuck, but like the whole, benefit of humanity.
Do you think there are bosses out there that are like, yeah, dude?
I don't think there's many business owners that are.
Yeah,
like
why do you think that's the case? That many business owners are not interested in giving you what you're honestly supposed to be earning.
I mean, you're right. Like, because they want to make money.
Yeah, they want to make profits.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you're right. Yeah.
So here's how that works, right? Your boss wants you to work the most amount of hours for the least amount of pay, right? They want to pay you as little as they possibly can get away with and have you work as much as they possibly can get you to work. That's why they'll be like, all right, you got to come in on this day. You know what I mean? Even though maybe you're not.
That has been my experience as being an employee.
Yeah. Right? So, and then you as an employee or as a contractor want to obviously max out on your pay, get the most amount of pay for the least amount of hours. Like, that just makes sense. It's just self-interest.
Correct. Sure.
Right. Exactly. So you are at direct odds with the interests of your boss in that regard. So when your boss has all the power in the authoritarian structure of a corporation, because that is what it is by design, right? Corporations are not exactly democratic. When your boss has all the power inside of your corporation, they get to set your wages, okay? And then also on top of that, they get to tell you what the fuck you have to do at every step of the way. The only way to be able to demand or make demands from your boss is if you get a bunch of other contractors like yourself working in that same workplace and try to engage in collective bargaining. Create a union. That's democracy.
I mean, so at a certain point, like, shouldn't a company like care about its employees? Like, does it need to be an adversarial relationship?
I mean, they can fake it, but like ultimately, it's just
normal. Wait, slow down. Do you think it's not possible for a company owner to like treat their employees like equals? Like,
it could be, but that's costly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is costly, but
that's the point.
I mean, my own parents operated their business that way. Like, I've seen it happen. Like,
yeah, but that's not the norm, I think, as you have also admitted.
I mean,
also,
maybe it's not the norm, but
also you don't know what your, like, no disrespect to your parents, but you don't know what their workers also felt like. Your parents might be wonderful people, but from their workers' perspective, their workers might not have felt any different than the way you feel when they were working with your parents. They might have been nice, they might have been kind, but ultimately, you're not going to be able to.
I'm pretty sure they felt pretty good. You know why?
Why?
Because I know what their supervisor was paid.
What? the supervisor.
I know what their supervisor was paid. Like the top level guy underneath them, I know what he was paid. And I know what everyone else was paid.
Okay, well, regardless, that doesn't change the reality
well.
that like your supervisor might have still felt differently about their bosses in this, or even similar to how you feel about your own personal boss right now. But anyway.
Okay.
But regardless, okay.
So, is the chat just roasting me right now? I can't even see the chat.
Don't read the chat. Don't worry about it. My point was about.
I do actually really like talking to you.
My point was about getting leverage.
Think you would ever talk to me.
Okay, it doesn't matter. My point was about getting leverage in your workplace. How can you get leverage over your bosses to ensure that your bosses are at the very least like listening to your demands? I'm sure there's been a time when in your job, you wanted to do things a certain way. Let's say you're a smart guy. Let's say you have a more efficient way of doing your job, whatever your job may be. And you bring it up to your manager, and your manager's like, no, fuck off. You're going to do the way I want you to do it because that's what my top-level officials have told me. That's how you're supposed to do it. So, you know, because you're hands-on. You're a contractor. You've been doing this for a long time. You know the better way to do it. But you can't even get your fucking boss to listen to you, your supervisor to listen to you, right? How would you be able to do that? How would you be able to get him to listen to what you have to say?
I mean, I guess I could just punch him directly in the face.
That would, I mean, you get fired, I think.
Yeah, true. But
if you did that.
You're asking me like legitimately, how would I do that? How would I?
I think there's a better way to do that without violating the non-aggression principle.
That is correct. I think that the legitimate way to do that would, to suggest an improvement to your manager.
And then if he doesn't listen, though, on the other hand, and you're like, but there's an easier way to do this.
It's either you push your point or you leave, right? Like.
No, that's not. You don't have to do that.
I think you have to do one of those two things. Like,
no, you don't leave.
If you think that your method is better, you need to either push that point or you need to leave.
Or if you had some semblance, of democracy in your workplace, you could get the other contractors. You could get the other contractors on board, and you could tell your manager, like, no. Together we've decided this is actually the more effective
saying like,
way.
let me fucking like ally people that are like on my side, and
people that have the same interests as you do.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, so your argument is basically like unions are good, right?
I mean, I'm not saying that. It seems like you're arriving.
That's
at that
what
conclusion.
You said, dude.
It seems like you're arriving at that conclusion on your own.
Don't be weird like that. Like, dog, anyway, just admit it.
Anyway,
come on.
Beyond that.
What?
Beyond that.
You literally just said unions are good. Like, come on.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm fucking with you. Of course, I like unions. I'm just saying that you also are arriving at that conclusion on your own. I'm giving you the opportunity to,
I agree.
To celebrate your own recognition.
Employees should be able to push back against their bosses. You're right.
There you go. So you asked me how to implement localized democracy. You spend 80% of your adult life in your place of work. That's one way that you can arrive at at least a little bit more democratic organization in a place that you spend 80% of your adult life in. So I think that's a good place to start. And then, you can get your union together and join larger unions and make even larger demands. Your union will be a chapter of a larger union, whatever sectoral union you might have.
Do you want me to start a union?
I mean, I'm not saying you should. You could, though.
I could.
You could.
In a very large corporation.
There you go. It could be good. Who knows? So, I guess because you asked me how to do more democracy.
I never imagined that you would even fucking talk to me, man. So this actually is like wild to me.
Anyway,
but I mean,
my point is
not
this.
wrong, but like I do honestly believe, like let me go and throw back for a second. I think a lot of people wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden if they knew that their fucking, his son was corrupt as fuck. Do.
Do you think Sun's corruptions have any semblance on people's decision making?
Yes.
As far
yes.
as like,
I think that people's sons being corrupt is a problem. Yes, I do.
So do you think, like, for example, Donald Trump Jr. is like charity fraud? Do you think that factored into people not voting for Donald Trump?
What are you talking about?
Like his mismanagement, Donald Trump Jr.'s mismanagement of his dad's.
I'm gonna need some sources on that, dog. Can you send me some sources?
I'll send you the sources after you send me the source on people changing their minds on Hunter Biden, because I do want to know.
Oh, I can definitely send you that.
Yeah, but
I can't believe you even talked to me, dude. Like,
okay, you got to stop saying that, bro. It's making me feel weird.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you feel weird. Like, I just actually think that you're cool as fuck.
Do you think that if someone's if do you think that here, this is Donald J. Trump pays court order $2 million for illegally using Trump Foundation funds.
I mean,
that wasn't even Donald Trump Jr. That was Donald Trump himself. I
don't mean to talk over you.
Wait, sorry. Did you hear what I said?
A little bit.
I said Donald J. Trump pays court ordered $2 million for illegally using Trump Foundation funds.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Trump ordered to pay 8 separate charities $250,000 each. So you think, like,
that's pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty bad, man.
So you think, like, Hunter Biden being corrupt is important. So you must think
I think both of those things are bad, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, Hunter Biden and Donald Trump Jr. both being corrupt.
Okay.
Like that both those things bother me. Like, I'm not trying to take sides here. Like,
okay, no. My point is this. Because you said Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden's, like, corruption, which I don't even know.
He is. I mean, he's corrupt as fuck. There's no denying that.
He does nepotism.
But if Donald Trump Jr. is being corrupt as fuck too, like,
no, it's not just Donald Trump Jr. It's Donald Trump himself. It's not Donald Trump Jr. It's Donald Trump himself.
Yeah,
do you think
those are
one
all
is more
problems.
important than the other? Like, do
no,
you think?
I think that it's all a problem. Like, that's
okay,
so bad.
But these two people are going up against one another. One's son is corrupt. The other person himself is corrupt. Who do you think people vote for in that situation? Do you think people vote for the guy?
I hope neither of them, man. To be honest, like.
Okay, but regardless.
Oh, his son's corrupt and he's corrupt.
Those are the only two options you have.
What?
Those are the only two options you have.
What do I do with that? Like, how do I even respond to that? Like, they're both garbage.
Okay, you made it seem like people would vote for Donald Trump, and I thought you were a Trump supporter.
I mean, there is definitely a lot of people that would have not voted for Biden if they knew the truth.
Okay, well,
that's undeniable, dog. The truth
that Hunter Biden is corrupt, except you could it is impossible to prove that regardless. I mean, it's very difficult to prove that.
It's definitely not possible to prove that.
You can
His
show
laptop
me.
was quite clear, dog.
You can show me poll results, but that doesn't change the reality of how.
Oh, as far as the election goes.
Yes, and you made it seem like there was like some deep state involvement occurring.
I mean, there definitely was.
And yet, the reality is that, like, plenty of people also knew about Trump's corruption, which it seems like people factored in Trump's personal corruption against Hunter Biden's potential corruption that they may have known about or may have heard about or didn't hear about at all. I ultimately think that one person
clearly corrupt, though.
I think that one person
there's no denying it at all.
Yeah, but I think that Donald Trump's personal corruption, is probably
okay. Wait, what corruption does Donald Trump have?
I mean, I just showed you in 2019, Letitia James forced Donald Trump to pay $250,000 to 8 different charities for charity fraud. That's just one minor aspect of it. But if you think that Trump is not corrupt, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, oh my Lord.
Wait, he defrauded charities?
Yes. He used the Trump Foundation.
I mean, I did not know about
illegally.
that. My bad.
There's plenty more that you see. Maybe if you knew about Donald Trump's corruption, you wouldn't be out here fucking talking about how people won't vote for Donald Trump. Anyway, but look, I have to go.
That, like, you assume that I'm like a deep Republican, and I'm not, dude. Like, I just want to know the truth.
I gotta go. thank you for the conversation.
Thank you for having me at all, dude. Fuck yeah.
All right. And yeah, that's what I got for you. Thank you, Muted Reality.
I appreciate you, dude.
All right. Have a good one. Okay.